turn invite the Cabinet Secretary for Ministry of Cooperatives. Tupigie makofi tafadhali. Welcome, Governor.
Your Excellency, President William Ruto, the speakers before me have, of course, laid out very elaborate protocols of those to recognize, so I associate with that. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished delegates, I am delighted to welcome you all to Nairobi and to be your host. On behalf of the people of Nairobi, welcome. Nairobi is truly honored to host the inaugural WCF Africa Summit 2025. And I am proud that you, Africa's leaders in business and policy, have chosen us, and for a matter of such moment, you're here to reflect with us on the continent's future. Karibuni and feel at home. I want to start by thinking about our beginnings, our policy and our hopes. As always, if we know where the journey began, we know better where it might end. We are at a moment, and I'm glad the chairman has just expressed some of the stark realities that we have. You know the statistics. In 1950, 22% of the world's population was in Europe. By 2050, there'll be 7%. But in the same 1950, Africa only had 7% of the global population. In 2050, 1 out of 4 people will be in Africa. Now, 65% of those to 70% are going to be in cities. It is just 25 years from now. The Economist on January the 11th, an article by John McDermott said that with current trends, 80% of the world's poor will be in Africa by 2030, up from 14% in 1990. It is obvious. With what the chairman has just said, with 3%, only 3% of the world trade coming from Africa, we must do something about it. And so that is why I'm happy that for the next 2 days, you as business leaders, policy makers, are going to have these conversations that are critical and that are monumental. This is the right moment for those conversations. Now, it will be remiss of me to have you here without saying a little bit about Nairobi and what we're doing. I must sell my city. Nairobi has long been a hub of innovation and commerce on the African continent. This city is home to thousands of startups, tech incubators, and creative entrepreneurs, all pushing the bounds of the possible. Just like Africa, this is a young city. Our median age is 19. Not far from here, you'll find innovation hubs and tech parks where young people, men and women, are developing fintech solutions, health tech applications, and new business models to meet everyday challenges. We in Nairobi have embraced this spirit of innovation and working very closely with the national government. For instance, we have partnered with the private sector players to establish community innovation centers that provide youth with internet access, training, and mentorship opportunities. We are very glad that our president is keen on the digital superhighway, and we're taking advantage of that. We believe, and I'd love to make the case to you, that local governments are vital for nurturing talent and enabling innovators. When they do, our cities on the continent, from Nairobi to Lagos to Cape Town to Kampala, contribute directly to the broader national and continental goals of digital transformation for growth. As a city, our story is one of integration and connectivity. We are a melting pot, attracting people from every corner of Kenya and of Africa, and these days more than ever before from right around the world. We have been gifted by location. God has given us that gift. In I think 8 hours you're in Turkey, if not less. In 5 hours you're in Dubai. In 8 hours you're in London. But we need to do more with us as Africa, on the African continent. Our diversity is our strength in Nairobi and in Kenya. It has made this city a cosmopolitan commercial capital with more than 100 multinational companies, African or East African headquarters located in Nairobi. Those companies are helped and they're buoyed on in their tasks by an army of eager and innovative young Nairobians. I must make a case for you to also invest in Nairobi and to set up your companies. We have become a natural melting point and meeting point for East African trade because of our logistics and infrastructure, like the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport and the Standard Gauge Railway, links us to global and regional markets. Under the Africa Free Continental Trade Area framework, Nairobi is poised to serve as a keynote in the Continental Trade Network, a place where traders, financiers, and industrialists shall connect. As governor, I am focused on enhancing this connectivity even further, improving our road networks in partnership with His Excellency the President, expanding public transport, and planning for smart city initiatives that leverage technology to improve mobility and services. One area that I want to highlight is the importance of public-private sector partnerships in urban development and service delivery. We are ready for business as a city. We have bankable investments for your companies to look at. Our growth has outpaced our public resources, and so collaborating with the private sector is critical and essential for building and maintaining the infrastructure necessary for a modern, competitive city. We have had successful PPPs in sectors like waste management and energy, and we're exploring more models for affordable housing, a pressing need given our expanding urban population. By engaging businesses in these projects, we not only intend and not only are doing that, we are tapping into finance and expertise, but also the solutions are effective and they're more innovative. This summit's emphasis on sustainability resonates with our approach. Our PPPs for urban transit, for instance, aim to introduce greener buses and a commuter rail powered increasingly by clean energy. If you set up camp in Nairobi, your carbon footprint will drastically be reduced, and we know our prerogative on climate action. 93% of the energy in Kenya is renewable. 93%, a mix of hydro and geothermal energy. And so you as a business will be able to reduce your own carbon footprint. We recognize that as we grow economically, we must protect our environment and improve our quality of life. Recently, Nairobi joined the C40 Cities Network to collaborate with other global cities on climate action. We have launched an ambitious campaign together with the President again to plant millions of trees within the city to increase green spaces and mitigate urban heat island effects. And we're rehabilitating our rivers like the Nairobi River, the Ngong River, and the Madare River, which is not only an environmental project but also an economic one, as clean riverfronts are spurring new businesses and recreational areas. Additionally, we're enforcing regulations on air pollution and promoting the adoption of electric vehicles by setting up pilot electric vehicle charging stations around our city. Our vision is to transform Nairobi into a truly green city that sets an example for sustainable urban living in Africa. Crucially, inclusivity is at the heart of Nairobi's development agenda. A city's progress is meaningful only if all residents feel its benefits. And I think you could say the same about your businesses. We have programs targeted at empowering women and youth in business, such as the Nairobi Women in Business Initiative, which provides training and small grants to women entrepreneurs in informal settlements, and youth talent programs that connect young innovators to angel investors. I think in the last year, Nairobi got the highest level of investments in their startups on the continent, and we hope to reclaim that space. I know Nigeria are hurtling closely behind us, and so is South Africa, but we will run. You know, Kenyans, you can't beat us in running. And so we are running far ahead. In fact, Your Excellency, I heard that in the next Olympics, they have said they're changing the name of the marathon. It is now called Chase the Kenyans, just because of that. And so we'll keep running ahead on the continent. And that friendly competition is what we should have. We are not competing against each other, but spurring each other to move forward. In Nairobi, we're also simplifying the process of starting and running a business. In the past year, we've rolled out an online single business permit system and sharply cut approval times for permits in partnership with the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Now, a small trader can now get their license in a matter of minutes, not weeks, right from their mobile phone. You log in, you open an account, you get a license, and you print it for yourself wherever you are in the city of Nairobi. Thank you. We are cutting red tape and fighting corruption at City Hall because, you know, a fair and transparent environment is what allows businesses to flourish. When a city befriends its entrepreneurs, it attracts and concentrates creativity and investment. And concentrating talent in one place is absolutely central to urban growth. Ladies and gentlemen, in a good film, the location itself is itself a character. It comes alive. It motivates. It gives depth to the strivings and hopes of the other parts. That is Nairobi. It's not just a backdrop for the reflection you begin today. If you let it, it will speak back to you. And not just today. We are and we will remain players in Africa's great drama of integration, innovation, and growth. Just as Africa's climate position was agreed under our skies in Nairobi at the Africa Climate Summit, so too will many more of the continent's consequential decisions be taken here. In closing, I'd like to invite all our guests, local and international, to take some time, if your schedules allow, to explore Nairobi beyond the conference halls. Meet our entrepreneurs at the Nairobi Innovation Week Expo that is happening this week. Visit our Nairobi National Park, where conservation meets tourism. In fact, it's the only park, natural park, where you will find animals in the untouched habitat, how God made it, and at the backdrop of the skyline of a capital city. It's the only one in the world, and it is right next to you. Of course, the president will tell you that you might, in the evening, come across a lion or a cheetah. Please, just say hi. They're absolutely harmless. Enjoy our cultural scene. Sample the diversity of Kenyan cuisine in our restaurants. You will find a city that is dynamic, resilient, and welcoming. A city that embodies the optimism that we all share for Africa's future. I once again thank the organizers for choosing Nairobi as a host city. We do not take this honor for granted. My administration will continue to work hand in hand with the national government, and I truly must thank the President for setting the pace when it comes to working with businesses. The President of the Kenya Chamber of Commerce, you forgot to tell the people, he is called Dr. Ruto, and our President is called Dr. Ruto, but they're not related. He should be the one to say it. But they share much more in common. They believe in what businesses can do and what the private sector can do. Thank you, Excellency, and I think it deserves a round of applause for leading from the front. And so we'll continue working with the Chamber, Dr. Ruto, the smaller one, and with international partners to ensure that the ideals discussed here are implemented for the benefit of our citizens. Together, let us make Africa's global future a reality, one city, one community at a time. Enjoy your stay in Nairobi. Thank you very much. Allow me to invite the Cabinet Secretary, Wycliffe Oparanya, who will also recognize other government officials present here. Let us give him a round of applause as he comes.